Hi guys. I just want to say one more thing real quick about the previous video that I made pertaining to I discovered that someone that I've known for a long time is actually a covert narcissist. Covert. I'm talking covert. James Bond covert. That's why I didn't pick up on it. Okay. Y'all know, and I'm going to just do this real quick. Y'all know that I've had a vicious childhood. I was almost killed, literally stabbed multiple times. Almost lost my life, was beaten by the mother. She knew I was being stabbed. She pretended she didn't know. She's a nurse. Okay. Was a nurse. Beat me, knocked me downstairs, tried to dislocate my arm. Was a vicious rattlesnake. A child abuser who was a nurse. Anyway, when I told this individual that I didn't know was a covert narcissist. When I told him, he said, but she looked good. So this person almost got my life taken from me. And you dismissed that with a wave of a hand like, but she looked good though. Because God knows, he's all about getting a push, so don't worry about the child abuse. That's no big deal. I was so stunned. Bear with me. I was so stunned, real life, when he acted like that I don't think I had a reaction to it because I couldn't believe it. I was real casual about it. I was real cool about it. But when I thought about it later, that comment, it was pretty nasty, pretty disgusting. So apparently in his world, because he's addicted to sex, don't care about you, but cares about your legs being open. Typical man. Not a man with integrity. They don't do that. Anyway. Abuser, you can abuse your kid as long as you look good. And I said she doesn't look good. She's extremely plain looking. Extremely plain. She's a Yale yuppie. Plain Yale yuppie. Well, she looked good. You know why? Because the potential of having her legs open makes her beautiful. Do you know how dismissive that is? A person almost lost their life and all you could see is puss? Nasty motherfucker. Let me move on. Okay, so let's talk about what men don't want women to know, okay? And we are talking about business trips or the great getaways, all right? Most of men's cheating takes place on business trips. Nobody's surprised by that. Companies actually, in a weird way, help men cheat because they have them traveling all the time. Where are they staying? Hotel rooms. A lot of hotels have bars. Alcohol drops inhibitions. They don't have control when they're not drinking. Let's just keep it real. We're not talking about men with integrity. So if you are a man with integrity, this does not apply to you. But the majority of the men it very much applies to, okay? The primary reason men occasionally restrain themselves from cheating can be summed up in one word. Fear. Men are terrified of getting caught, and the bulk of that fear emanates from the knowledge that you could be right around the corner. The name of this book is What Men Don't Want Women to Know. It is a PDF host file. So you put Google, the name of the book, What Men Don't Want Women to Know, in Google, and then you put PDF host file. The first file that pops up that has a red square on it, a little red square, that's the free version that you can download. All men, whether consciously or otherwise, subscribe to the following rule. Notice it said all men. Even men with integrity are tempted to somebody they're not supposed to. And this book is written by two men. So before y'all go on a page of this, probably written by women who hate men, they're lesbians. Nope, bullshit, and triple layers of bullshit. This is written by two men who did extensive research before they wrote this book. Plus they're men, so they know how men act. Moving right along, any hanky-panky when indulged in at least 400 miles from home is almost 100% safe from discovery. Y'all better stop thinking that. My husband's perfect. My husband's a good man. My husband would never do that. Does your man have a dick? Because if he does, honey, 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 he wants to put it somewhere other than you. Men are men. That is how they roll. Testosterone is the best thing for creating babies, but the worst thing, because a lot of these men cannot control it. They can't control their own desires. Okay? I'm just saying. So I'm quick to, especially when women get online, and I can't stand when they do that. They get online and they start bragging about how their husband is so great and he loves me so much. He would never. Does he have a pecker? Well, if he does, he's got testosterone. Does it raise? Does it raise up? Can he get it up? Well, then he's got testosterone. And if that's the case, he wants to put it somewhere other than you. I've been hit on by married men. I don't know how many times. Single women will tell you whether they're single or involved with somebody or married. Married men are hitting on them all the time. Your husband, who's Mr. Perfect, could be one of them. So listen. Don't go on this fantasy world in order to keep your marriage intact. If your man is truly a good person, that's good. But don't get online bragging about it, because I will set you straight on how men really act. Don't. When your man has just gotten off a plane and you are at least 400 miles away, capital letters, it's showtime. Okay? Here's how it works. Your man will arrive at his destination and take a taxi to his hotel. His first phone call will be to you. It seems cute and loving, but what this phone call means to him is much different from what it means to you. To you, he has called because he loves and misses you. To him, he's just confirmed that you are at least 400 miles away and didn't follow him. At least he's hoping. Even if you were to hop in your car the moment he hangs up the phone, he knows you'll never catch him in time. He has nothing to worry about. When he hangs up with you, he'll grab the nearest yellow pages or classified section of the local newspaper, looking up escorts or massage, and voila, instant unloading with no red tape. In case you think I'm making this up, instant unloading with no red tape. Other times, a man will ask the concierge where he can get a drink. He will head down to the bar, sit there, and begin drinking, staring at anything remotely attractive. If he doesn't cheat in this environment, it's because he failed, and when he gets back to the room, the first thing he's likely to do is dive back into the yellow pages. How can you monitor what your man is doing 400 miles away? Call often. This is the key to keeping your man on his toes. Always know his whereabouts. Ask him to keep his cellular phone on his person. Call his hotel room at 2:30 a.m. to tell him you are missing him if he's not there, or if he is at any time unaccounted for, you've got him. After he says he's going to sleep, wait an hour and then call him again. If he doesn't answer, he's a lying cheat. In anticipation of the lie that he slept through the ringing, Smith and Doe said, "Please." Men are nasty. I'm just telling you. If you don't learn nothing else from this book, learn that. Okay? And women know this anyway, because we get targeted all the time. We've been stared at all the time. We ain't got no flesh showing, but they're still looking like, They're nasty. They have no self-control, most of them. If not, well, Smith and Doe are saying all men are like this. Okay? Just because he's a good man and treats you well, it doesn't disrespect you, and doesn't abuse you, it doesn't mean he's not horny. Okay? Let's go. Let's continue. And there will be language in here because y'all are grown. There ain't no kids watching this video, and if there are, your parents need to be whooping your tail because this ain't for little kids. Anyway, move right along. Check his credit card receipts at the end of the month after he's been away on business. What? Question anything that looks remotely suspicious. Any charges over 150 that are not clearly a restaurant are more likely the escort service he used to get his prostitute. If he denies this fact, simply have the credit card company get you a contact number for the originator of the charge. Ooh. Let me tell you something, honey. One of the authors of this book, His best friend, who's a guy, dumped him as a friend because they were releasing too many secrets. They've been friends for a long time, and he cut him off. How dare you spill the beans? Don't be a whore. You got nothing to worry about. Move right along. I didn't know you could do that. You could contact the number for the originator of the charge. Oh my freaking God. Honey, 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 your man will be in shock when you catch him, and Smith & Doe will need to move to yet another safe house. If your man refuses to let you see his charge summaries, he's definitely hiding something. Ask whom he had dinner with, and then write down his answer. 2 weeks later, you could catch him in a lie by casually mentioning that dinner you had with X. If he doesn't seem to know what you're talking about, even for an instant, you've got him. Remember everything he tells you. Capital letters. Remember everything he tells you. If there's one thing a man has trouble doing, it's keeping track of his lies. More men have slipped up during routine questioning than any other method of unearthing their sins. By remembering the dates, times, and places of his supposed business dealings, you will find it simple to catch him in a lie. If he tells you he'll call and he doesn't, raise a major red flag. This is a typical way that men will divert your attention from their actual or intended plans. By leading you to believe that you will speak later in the evening, your man has caused you to postpone the questions you were going to ask. For example, where's dinner, who is it with, etc., until it's too late. By the next day, his responses become generalizations. At that point, there's little you can do. Giorgio's Trattoria becomes some Italian place. Susie, Carol, and Anna become some salespeople from the other company. Sure they are. They're salespeople. They ain't got nothing to do with a company. Move right along. The night before, it would have been impossible for him to claim that he didn't know the exact place that he was going to eat and exactly with whom he'd be dining. Always get the info early. Capital letters. Always get the info early. Okay? This Band-Aid it's brand new and it's already snagging and looking like it's been through a meat grinder. Gotta love quality stuff. You spend your money on garbage. Anyway, when you think you've caught him in a lie, be strong, woman. Never relent and increase the intensity of your questioning. Women are natural-born detectives, okay? Women will get to the bottom of it. They will get to the bottom of the secrets, the lies. They will put their hand, go digging in your business suit pockets for phone numbers. My stupid ass, horny ass, asinine father, he would come back to the house. He was married to her, and he'd come back to the house with lipstick on his collar and perfume on his shirt. Where do you think he was all hours of the night? He was in a bar, and he was probably in a hotel room or at her house jumping up and down on her. She's stupid. She stayed with him for years. Anyways. Your man, when pressed to the wall, will tap into a seemingly limitless reservoir of smooth, calculated lies. The moment you give him an out, he will not only take it, he will mold it to his purpose, but press him. Give him nowhere to run. Eventually, he will collapse under your grilling, and in your court, there's no pleading the fifth. Once you've caught your man in any lie whatsoever, as minor as the location of the dinner, relating to a business trip, you have the right to believe he has lied about everything and has most likely cheated or at least tried to. Capital letters. Okay. We realize it's unrealistic to assume that you can stay on top of his shenanigans and not look like a jealous shrew. So what will your man think about all this? It may seem shocking, but if your man truly cares about you, he will silently appreciate your keeping tabs on him. It's a sign that you care about him and are concerned about your relationship. What if your man gets really angry about you keeping tabs on him? If you become the police, will he be forced to scheme and lie more than ever? Will his anti-authoritarian instincts flare up and explode in your face? Will he become irritated and resentful of your lack of trust? Smith and Doe say that a man who makes a big issue of trust is a man who isn't worthy of any. Woo! Let me say that again. Smith and Doe, the writers of this book, say that a man who makes a big issue of trust is a man who isn't worthy of any. Let me let that sink in. All right. An innocent man will respond to your snooping indifferently. Once you've made a habit of it, your keeping tabs on him will become a playful joke that he'll laugh about and think is cute. But deep down inside the dark recesses of his mind, he'll know that it won't be as easy to get away with extracurricular activities, and your keeping tabs will keep his libido at bay. When criminals know they are being watched closely by the police, do they commit more crimes? Hell no. They exhibit exemplary behavior. Even the most wretched serial-killing, pedophilic, entrail-eating murderer becomes a model citizen. And as long as the heat is on, so he will stay. Even so, Smith and Doe urge you to heed this warning. Carefully consider the consequences before you begin your quest for evidence. Always assume the worst beforehand and be prepared to pay the price for coming face to face with the truth. Okay? I'm going to make it really short this time. And the reason why is because I've got a video uploading, which takes forever, and then I'll be uploading this one, and I don't want it to be too long, and then we'll go into the next chapter. Doe has been hit on before, and we'll talk more about that the next time. Doe is one of the writers of this book, one of the authors of this book. He's married, and he met this lady who, no class, willing to do anything. She let him know that she's willing to do anything, and also let him know that she doesn't have a gag reflex. Classy women do not do that. Classy women keep their couth, their manners, their self-respect intact. Even if she's so hot for you that her heart is racing so hard it's about to slam into her ribcage and jump out of her chest, she still keeps her cool. She doesn't make slutty comments. She does not act like an escort or call girl, whatever. She doesn't do that. If she wants you bad enough and she's determined to have you, hopefully you're single, she'll either suggest, well, why don't we go somewhere else? Or he will suggest, why don't you come to my room? We'll have a nightcap. But so far as being that blatantly classless, you ain't the first person she's done that with. And men don't think about that shit. Do you honestly think that she'd been a virgin until you came along? Honey, if she can come out of her face and be that brazen, she got a habit of doing that shit. You gonna stick your wing up in there, and the next morning when you wake up, it's gonna have polka dots on it. Keep messing around, because y'all ain't smart enough to use protection no way. His father found out he went on a trip. Mind you, Doe was married, and so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna pass. His father, who's a typical man, was like, what did you follow through with it? He said, no, I went to my hotel room. His father went off on him. His father knows he's married. His father doesn't care. He's a typical guy. Your whole existence is for the purpose of sticking your wang in somebody. That is the only reason you were created. That is a man mentality. Okay. And his father made a comment. We're going to cheat and find out what his dad said. He said, what did you do about it? He said, nothing. What do you mean nothing? You didn't take her up on it? Well, no, nothing happened. Smith's friend repeated, what's Dad's problem? What did I do wrong? Oh, it's Smith's friend. My bad. Smith's friend. Smith had a friend. And he was kind of jumping on Smith's friend and said, he motioned for Smith's friend to sit down. Smith's friend eagerly awaited the words of wisdom that would imminently spill forth from this wise old man, and spill forth they did. Son, he said calmly, and this is going to be grown-up talk, you can never regain a lost fuck. Because men are not only disgusting, but other men encourage them to be disgusting. Even if they know your wife, they like your wife or your fiancé, your long-term girlfriend that you're going to ask her to marry you. Men want other men to get laid. Especially, that's just the way they behave. And especially if they are cheating and you're Mr. Goody Two-Shoes, they really want you cheating too, because then he doesn't feel as bad and he doesn't feel alone. Let's just keep it real. We're going to put it on the table today. We're going to, stick to the meat and taters. Especially if he's cheating. But men like to encourage other men to cheat. Men help each other. We talked about this before. Men help other men get laid. Men will talk your woman out of dropping you, breaking up with you. Don't do that. Not everybody's perfect. You got to understand he's been under a lot of stress at work. If you remember, there was a guy who was married and they had a party for him at his job. One of the things that they got him for his party was a blowjob from a woman, escort, I guess. Well, his wife was surprising him at the party with the kids. His boss arranged for him to get a blowjob. The language on here is raw with this book. If you're looking for Walt Disney, babe, you came to the wrong place. Okay? This is grown folk talk. So, when the wife popped up, they kept her busy. I don't know what they did. Took her around, showed her around the office, or took her in a different conference room and said he's in a meeting right now. I think that's what they were trying to pull. Oh, he was in a meeting, all right. He was getting, action. And then he zipped his fly and hugged his wife. And oh my God, he's acting surprised and everything else. Little does she know. Little does she know. A prime example of men helping other men get some kind of sexual action. When you delve deep into this book, it makes you want to stay single forever. If you're single, it makes you go, oh, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. Go be horny with someone else. Go do whatever lies, tricks, whatever, circus tricks, whatever you got to do to get your dick wet, because it ain't happening over here. If that's all you need and that's all you want, stop getting married. Bang everybody whose legs are capable of opening. Bang the shit out of everybody, but don't you goddamn dare commit to somebody. And you know what I think? I'm going to go there because I don't care. The corporate world, including medical students who go to medical school, they push you to get married. Corporate world pushes you to get married. Married. They push, which they should not do because that's not their place. But unfortunately, the corporate world has always done that. They will always do it. So what you should do is live with a woman. Do not marry her. She's the fake wife. Because you can't commit to fuck all, no way. So you should put a ring on her finger. She puts a ring on your finger, whatever. And y'all are married until you either leave that company or you retire or whatever. And then she goes her happy little way. You go your happy little way. She don't care if you bang other people because y'all not technically married. Y'all need to play the game. If the business corporate world is going to be up your personal business, then y'all need to fake that you're married when you're not, because you ain't commitment material. And you marry for real. She's going to find out who you are and take your ass to divorce court and split half. You should have a fake wedding. A ring on her finger, a ring on your finger. You were married before you started working at this job, so they're not going to see your wedding necessarily because y'all got married before you worked there. You got to play the game. You bang other people, she bangs other people, nobody's committed because you lied when you committed. You fucking lied. You lied in front of God and everybody and said, I do forever and faithful and loyal and all this other bullshit, cockamamie bullshit lies. And you know goddamn well your dick controls the shit out of you. You got a sexual addiction, like I said in the other video. It might be a tame addiction. I'm not going to cheat until somebody's in my face. But you still have an addiction because it's in your mind 24/7 and not necessarily for your partner. Have a fake wife or a fake husband. And then when, like I said, when you retire or you leave that company, y'all could go separate ways. And you could cheat because y'all not in a relationship. No way. You're just in a fake marriage. If the corporate world's going to be that inappropriate, that's what you need to do. Have a fake wife. What you should do is pay her to be your fake wife so that she gets something out of the deal. Since corporate wants to be so inappropriate. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, you guys take care. Much love. And we'll talk next time. Y'all take care.